Constantly think about it, like, oh my god, like,
Alright, so we're doing some promotion for a collab feature, looking for filmmakers for our new project and also promoting our feature film, The Owner, or Guinness record holder film, The Owner. So we managed to sneak in to the talk of Paul Verhoeven in the talent campus, so let's see how it goes.
Please welcome on stage for the session Following Your Instincts, the Dutch-American director Paul Verhoeven.
Day 4.
Day 4, and we didn't have any tickets for this morning, but we sneaked in. Where?
Right, we came to see now Paul Verhoeven, this legendary Dutch director for movies like RoboCop, Total Recall, Basic Instinct, what else?
Starship Troopers.
Right. So yeah, we're outside the How one, which is where it took place, and yeah.
It was the first event of the Berlinale Talent Campus, actually. They told us that. I think they just had like a party or something last night. I enjoyed it. It was kind of like they were showing bits and pieces out of his films, like Total Recall they showed, Basic Instinct, RoboCop. And since they are made like in the 80s and early 90s, I think it was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, for me, what most stuck is that, I mean, being a European director, and he was drawn to go to the US, he said, once you're there, you are forced, like, to go with the flow. Like, you don't have much saying, like, you have to do what they tell you to say. So their projects, his projects, is not actually what he wanted to do, but what they wanted to do. Whereas when he was here in Europe, were the projects that actually he wanted to do. That was something that I found interesting.
And the nicest piece of advice he gave in the end of the speech was that you have to look for projects you don't know if you'll be able to handle it. So like to actually look for the next bigger challenge to grow and go into the unknown. So go into the unknown and have a little bit of fear if you do it, but then you grow.
Yeah, then he talked a little bit about his processes. He said, for example, when he has to work with very, very heavy special effects movies, like sci-fi movies, he storyboards every single frame, because then he has to send them to like studio effects, and then he gets a quotation based on the storyboard. So he has to be very precise, because then whatever he decides to do afterwards would like cost $1,000 more. And the other thing is, for example, for smaller films, or not smaller but not so special effects intense like Basic Instinct, he goes more with his imagination and gut, but he always is very, very precise and storyboards every single sex scene so that the actors know exactly what they're gonna do and where are they gonna kiss what and whatever. So he's very precise in that as well.
Actually, I would like to see one of his storyboards for one of the sex scenes.
Yeah, me too. So that was pretty interesting. So it was fun. It was...
Now?
Yeah, we're going to try to sneak in to another talk, which is really interesting.
Yeah. Crossmedia for filmmakers. We have been to the talk last year. I have been also when I was like at the Talent Campus in 2008, like a filmmaker's guide to independent distribution or something like this. And it is organized by Liz Rosenthal from Power to the Pixel. It's really interesting, so we really hope we get it.
Yeah, last year was great. We also saw there like Iron Sky's director, Timo Buronzuela. This time I'm not sure who's going to be in the panel, but I'm sure it's going to be great. So we didn't get tickets for that, so let's see if we can get in. It's a smaller theater, so we're just going to head on like early.
We will just be patient and persistent.
We sneaked in again.
The Indie Flmmaker's Guide to Crossmedia I. And here, next to me on the stage, are the experts presenting the issue today.
Hello everyone, welcome back.
We have a guest speaker.
Yeah.
You might introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Richard, and we just went to one of the Berlinale campus meeting, and it was really inspiring.
Which was?
It was cross-media,
Right.
so there was mixing internet, storytelling, film, and it was really, really interesting.
Yeah. By the way, Richard is co-producer of Berlin Junction, so he's part of the family.
And you do some other interesting project you might want to talk about really quickly, introducing Capsule.
Yeah, I'm also working with other projects. One of them is a 48-hour film project, making films within 48 hours. We also going to make this year a full feature film in 48 days, so not in hours but in days. And another project that I'm working on is capsuling.me, and it's about putting a video on the map literally. So if you walk around Berlin, for example, you can see at certain spots videos are hidden there, and if you have the right app, you can unlock them.
Like geolocated video.
Geolocated video.
So anyway, yeah, the cross-platform chat, it was really cool, but wasn't really new about things we knew. For me, really interesting was Michel, I don't remember I can't pronounce his last name, ex-Arte director of new media platforms, was saying about the use of transmedia and second screen as a narrative tool to expand the story universe, which is exactly the mindset that I have right now into some projects that I'm trying to develop, exactly using that kind of idea of second screen. Other than that, it was just like a reinforcement on how transmedia is very important into the new way of storytelling, not just filmmaking, but storytelling.
Yeah, there's nothing much I can add. Maybe just, well, if you're in Berlin, if you're a filmmaker, if you are at the Berlinale, try to and if you're interested in storytelling, new ways of storytelling in general, do try to check those out. There's a second event actually coming up, Crossmedia II, like on Wednesday?
It's Tuesday at 2 o'clock at How Dry.
Definitely, if you have never heard about it, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities you can use.
Just listening to them, it gives you like, ideas. Exactly, so get tickets for that, it's really interesting.
And you might find us too, and if you want to talk
absolutely
afterwards about what you experienced, we will be doing this again.
Alright, we're gonna run now to another talk, which I don't even know right now exactly what it is, but
I think
we'll tell you about
the
it. What Europe needs in terms of stories and funding,
from the EFM, some producers.
We will debate Europe needs rebuilding the European model, needs and opportunities. To my far right, to my far left, is Catherine Rizzo-Durizzi, who is CEO of the Russian promotion for Crossmedia, and also, I must admit, editor-in-chief of Variety. To my left, immediate left, is Jean-Baptiste Perrin.
Basically, a couple of representatives of different countries talking about distribution, co-production possibilities. So we had France, Brazil, Germany, Russia. Specifically, Brazil, of course, is not European, but representing the new markets.
Yeah, it was very interesting insight into some sort of industry or for filmmakers, or at least for us, or at least for me as an independent filmmaker, that we don't have like real access like to numbers or how the inside industry like in bigger kind of budgets or productions work. So in that sense, it was really interesting to know, for example, that an average German production is around 3 to 4 million euros, and that's what they aim to do, for example, for Constantin Film, and that they are developing like a new model for new filmmakers for budgets of around 1 million
Actually, it's already out there. You can check it out. It's Alpenrot, but they look specifically for German scripts.
Exactly. And for me, specifically, Brazil, what they were talking was very interesting. They were talking about how Brazil has a major industry rising, and public funding is a really, really good way to fund even up to 95% of productions. They don't have like tax incentives, but they do have a massive public funding that you should check out.
And a very good piece of advice was also that if you do a movie, be clear on who your audience is, be clear who to sell it to, because most movies which fail are due to the producers not understanding their target audience. The biggest audience right now being China, Brazil upcoming, Russia upcoming. There was another big...
Well, they talked about teenagers and young adults.
Oh yeah, well, teenagers in general. Indonesia was also actually named as upcoming market due to the population. So.
Yeah, and that, for example, books as resources that are already like proved stories, and they have like kind of a PR base already in place that are great properties to exploit for future films.
So yeah. Overall, I think an interesting insight, specifically looking at it from the whole very money side, very money-driven side, and it was worth it.
Yeah, so we're going party now.
Yes, and we will, one time more to tell it, screen the trailers of Berlin Junction and Last Statement. Woohoo!
See how that goes.
Yeah, so tonight we're hosting an evening called Screeners, and the idea is that everyone, or a selection of you, can show some of your films in a small window before we all have drinks and party. I'm just doing a really brief introduction because tonight we have Elliot Grove from Rain Dance, and he's going to be doing a proper introduction. But first we're going to show you the trailer from Rain Dance, and then we're going to start the evening with Elliot's introduction, and then we're going to show your films, and then we're going to party.
Got vibrations from Rain Dance in London. How about that, you Berliners? Welcome everyone to the Prince Charles. You're so lucky to have a fabulous venue like this in Berlin. We have nothing at all like this in London, and we've got movies, music, and alcohol. What else could you want for a party?
We're in Prince Charles, so we went here, you know, mainly to show our trailers, so we did that.
The offender is usually pronounced dead approximately 7 minutes after the lethal injection begins.
And yeah, we met some interesting people.
Okay, so we have a film festival running in Budapest. It's called the Budapest International Short Film Festival, and we accept films up to 30 minutes length, and we would just like to have more and more filmmakers coming to our festival.
Who do I talk to?
You are talking with Mark Galmood. I am a writer, director, maybe producer. I'm working on a script right now about a satire about the U.S. and one town's love affair with guns, and trying to help a friend who's written a great book get it published and maybe make it into a movie.
Oh, we have Daniela and Jacopo right there. You want to say something? Come on, we have guests in the studio, people.
Hi.
This is Daniela Lucato. This is
She's
Jacopo.
a star in Berlin Junction.
So, have you been seeing something at the Berlinale, or just like
No, I'm
partying?
starting tomorrow, I guess. But I don't have tickets right now, so I will just improvise.
Yeah, improvise. We like improvisation. We have Claire French here, one of the organizers of this evening. Screeners, right? So
Screeners,
what
indeed.
Can you tell us about it?
I am from Film Festival Life, and basically it came about through a conversation with the Rain Dance director, Elliot Grove, last year during one of their pitching sessions, and we were largely complaining about the Berlinale parties, because most of the time, obviously the Berlinale is an amazing thing that we all look forward to every year, but for emerging young filmmakers, it's really hard to access the parties because a lot of them are invite only. And then the ones that are put on by companies, a lot of the time filmmakers still feel like they don't really have an opportunity to introduce themselves. So we thought, okay, how can we do it a little bit casually and allow them to introduce themselves through their work? And that's why we came up with this open screen concept, which is nothing too fascinating. It's just like an open mic except with a screen.
So, yeah, great. So I think it's going really good. It's packed in there, right?
Yeah.
I guess we'll be seeing you around. And thank you for having us. We could show our trailer, so that was really cool. And, well, have fun.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
So I think that's it for today, right?
That's it. Other than that, I can say, well, we look forward to watch more films and to see more Berlinale Talent Campus action.
Right. Tomorrow is another day. We're going to be on some other talks, trying to sneak in and some others. So maybe a film or two, we will see.
Produzenten brunch, like producers brunch from the Media Net.
Right. So, have fun. Ciao.